Namaste Saraswati Devim Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Desha Tarine Namaste Saraswati Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Namaste Saraswati. Gaura Baba.
Så nu är det lektion, eller? Ja.
Tack så mycket.
You need one more, Tilly?
Yeah,
Or two more?
5 more. No, 2 is okay. These are good.
You need Bhagavad Gita?
No, I have papers. Thank you. Let's see if I can sing. Why is everybody sitting so far away? Ravi, come into the fire. Jyotirgama. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Vishnupada Prabhupada Shairastara Sata A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Ho Vishnupada Prabhupada Shairastara Sata Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT founder Achar Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinata Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Mathura Dhamma Ki Jai. Navadvipa Dhamma Ki Jai. Mayapur Dhamma Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dhamma Ki Jai. Jagannath Swami Ki Jai. Vrindavana Dhamma Ki Jai. Gangamanamaya Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Gaura Premananda Samaveta Bhaktivinda Ki Jai. All glorious to some devotees, all glorious to some devotees, all glorious to some devotees, all glorious to Shri Shri Guru and Guranga, all glorious to Bankgiro, Srila Prabhupada. Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Guravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatya Desha Tarine. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay. So actually this last week there was many oi echo. So this last week there was actually many appearance days, but when Bhaktinema asked me, I was not really aware about it. So there was Ram Navami, there was Madhvacharya's appearance day, and I think a few others, no? Madhvapuri. There was Madhvacharya,
Ravi Jayotsava.
Ram Navami. Ravi, why didn't you have Ram Navami? You're supposed to remind us about festivals.
In chat, we had Ramnam.
Yeah.
We already had.
Vijayotsava was just the conquering of Lanka. It's a minor festival.
Uh-huh.
Vijayotsava. Same day as.
So you have you had
Okay,
here.
you are saying Dasara?
No.
No. You didn't have, okay. Anyway, so I just chose to speak about Mahamantra. And I was thinking there is a very nice purport in the songbook, which is one of my favorite purports. And I was just thinking we'd just talk a little bit about this. So please repeat after me. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare
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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So if you want to read the verse, you can read. You want? Madhuri?
Which verse?
I mean, which was just read.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ilya,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
2 times.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Ganesh.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So everybody was chanting. Actually, I got inspired for this to speak about mantra yoga, because I'm reading this book, which is a book written many years ago by Mahanidhi Swami, 98. It's about Gayatri mantra, but he speaks a lot about mantra, because mantra is an essential component of the, of the Vedic procedures for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or for those who do that, for the worshipping demigods or Lord Shiva. In all these procedures, it's always used mantra. And mantra, actually, I think most of us know, but mantra is a composition of two words, which is mana, which is mind, and tra, which is a short for trayate, or to liberate. So it's a word or a sound for liberating the mind. Actually, this word tra, it's also something kshatriya, protection, liberation, make free. Hare Krishna, welcome. So anyway, I got a little bit inspired to speak about mantras. So mantras it's a very wide topic in the Vedas, and the mantras are divided in many different ways. One way they divide mantras is in sattvic mantras, rajasic, and tamasic mantras. So this is like a very gross division. Sattvic mantras, as the name says, are mantras in the mode of goodness. So they elevate the person who is chanting. They free one from karma. Some of these mantras, they may even give liberation. Mantras in the mode of passion, it's they entangle one further in the process of karma. They are not sinful, but they are mantras which are chanted in order to attain certain results. You know, like one of the types which they quote in the Vedas is mantras for having a child or having a male child. So there is a certain procedure for that. Tamasic mantras, this is more or less what we call like voodoo or black magics. You know, you chant mantras in order to conquer others, to control others, to harm others. So This is the 3 types of mantras. And of course, I mean, for us, we're trying to engage in spiritual life. We are mainly interested in sattvic mantras. Or even, there is besides these 3, there is also transcendental mantras, which connect one directly with Krishna. One thing which is interesting with the mantra is mantra is powerful in itself. So it's a spiritual transcendental sound which is powerful in itself. I can speak a little bit more about it. But there is a couple of things connected with this chanting of the sound. The first thing is that we must get the mantra in an authorized way. So like if you come to a Hare Krishna temple and somebody tells you you should chant Hare Krishna, this is considered bona fide because, I mean, we heard it from Prabhupada, we're doing it on behalf of Prabhupada, so we are representing the disciplic succession, hopefully. This is very important. Actually, there is one sannyasi many years ago. He said that he was speaking with Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada said that actually the Panchatattva Mahamantra, which is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, it's more powerful than the Hare Krishna mantra. And then that sannyasi told Prabhupada, but then we should chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda on our beads instead of Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada said, no, because this is not the instruction you got. So therefore, it will have no power. So this is the first, so to say, the first must that one must do in relation with the chanting with the mantra. The mantra must be received in an authorized, proper way. The second ingredient in chanting the mantra, it's purification. You know, like in the chanting of our Hare Krishna mantra, we have these 10 offenses, which you used to recite every morning. I don't know if I remember them, all of them, but it's to compare. One of them is to compare the Hare Krishna mantra with some fruitive activity, or commit sinful deeds on the strength of holy name, to blaspheme Vaishnavas. Anyway, there is these 10 offenses. So if one is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, which in itself is very powerful, but at the same time is doing something like some of these offenses, then the mantra is not powerful. It's like you buy a Porsche and you don't put any petrol. You will not get anywhere. There is no speed. Mundane example, but so this purity while chanting the mantra, this is very important. And in the Vedic system, there is kind of, we normally divide it into our devotional service into 2 sections. Of course, there's many divisions at different levels, but one of them which I'm thinking about is Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavata Vidhi. Vidhi means, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it means like path, isn't it? Procedure or something like that. So there's Pancharatrika Vidhi. Pancharatrika Vidhi, to give a simple explanation, is the process related with deity worship. Because when you do deity worship, I mean, like before you come to the altar, you have to take a shower, you have to keep clean clothes, you have to done your japa, you have to be in a pure state of mind. So Pancharatrika Vidhi, it's related with deity worship. And this Pancharatrika Vidhi, this is needed to keep us pure, to keep our mind pure, because I remember in the old days when we were on Sankirtan the whole week. So on Sankirtan we can say that we are distributing books, but we are away from the temple. I mean, sometimes for 2 months, 3 months. We used to travel to north of Sweden, from like 1,500 kilometers north of Stockholm and north of Norway. It's very long, we are away. And actually, even if you're doing full-time service, it felt, especially towards the end, that there was something missing. And this was like this Pancharatrika Vidhi, this connection with the deity. Bhagavata Vidhi, this is like preaching and chanting of the mantras, reading the books. It's the more, the more philosophical and practical way, expanding the mission of Krishna consciousness. But Pancharatrika Vidhi is necessary for the proper chanting of the mantra. Anyway, so this is just a little bit general about mantra. So it's important we get the mantra from the proper source, that we purify ourselves, and then, if possible, but this is a long time procedure, is that we have to understand the meaning of the mantra. Actually, there is one thing. I was always interested in languages, and one thing which I always thought is kind of special with languages. I mean, if you go like to the middle of Siberia, or to the American Indians, or to South America, I mean, there is languages which are incredibly complicated. I mean, these people may live very simple, Maybe some of them they don't even have tools of iron. But their languages are extremely complicated. So I actually asked one linguist, how did they make their languages? Did they hire a consultant? I mean, this is it's actually a very deep question. How can people who are living in such a simple and, according to our modern standards, we could call it primitive way, how can they have a language which is, for you it will take 20 years to understand the mechanics of this language and to be able to speak it and understand their grammar. So there is something there with sound which is very special. And the Vedas they call this special aspect of the sound, which we use in our devotional service, for Shabda Brahman. So the sound of Brahman, the spiritual sound vibration. And actually, when we study the process of creation in Bhagavatam, but also actually in other languages, in other religions, like in Christianity, they say in the beginning it was the Word. It's the same thing. And according to our philosophy, what started the whole creation is a spiritual sound, which is sometimes as described as the sound of Krishna's flute. So this sound is very powerful because it's the most subtle. Actually, Srila Prabhupada mentions in one purport, a man may be sleeping and thieves come in the house and make noise. So the whole body, he's sleeping, he doesn't see anything, he doesn't taste anything, all the senses are dead, but by hearing you wake up. So this process of spiritual sound is very strong. And because it's the most subtle of all elements, it's the one which penetrates deeper into our consciousness. So it's just little preliminary. So I will try to read this purport a little bit. You want to make any questions so far before I start with the purport? Or everything is okay? So the transcendental vibration established by the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method of reviving our Krishna consciousness. Thank you. As living spiritual souls, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities. But due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by the material atmosphere. So here in this sentence, as living spiritual souls, we are originally Krishna conscious entities. I don't know if you are aware about this, but there has been a big polemic in ISKCON. Can the soul fall from the spiritual world? And there is two camps. One says the soul fell down from the spiritual world, and the other one says, I don't know what exactly they say, but they say like the soul comes from Brahman or something, or the soul is inert until it's activated, something like that. But here Srila Prabhupada, I mean, at least for me, it's quite clear. As living spiritual souls, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities. Actually, I had a discussion on email with another devotee, and he is like defending this idea that we didn't fall down from the spiritual world. And then I asked him, why did Srila Prabhupada call his magazine Back to Godhead? I didn't get any answer until today. There is no answer, because why would Srila Prabhupada call Back to Godhead? I mean, back is not, what do you say? You cannot interpret back in two ways, you know. You go back and forth, or you go to Stockholm and back, or Lund and back. I mean, back means back. So Back to Godhead, how Srila Prabhupada called his magazine. And here Srila Prabhupada says the same thing. This is our original Krishna consciousness. Our original consciousness is Krishna consciousness. And it's also why Srila Prabhupada in many places used the word wake up. I mean, you wake up something which already exists. You cannot wake up somebody who is dead. So, due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by the material atmosphere. The material atmosphere in which we are now living is called Maya, or illusion. Maya means that which is not. And what is this illusion? The illusion is that we are trying to be lords of material nature, while actually we are under the grip of her stringent laws. So we try to control our lives, isn't it? I mean, we must. To some extent, we must control our lives. But we should not fall under the illusion that we have full control, because we don't have any control. You know, like it can maybe a natural disaster. Very often nowadays we see these floods, you know, take houses, bridges, cars, take the cars like mosquitoes, you know, by the hundreds. Houses, everything. So our position in this material world is very perishable. And of course, materialistic people, because of their strong desire to control and their very strong fruitive activity, they develop this mentality that they are the controllers and the enjoyers. But actually, just something little shaky, and everything is finished. So when a servant artificially tries to imitate the all-powerful master, this is called illusion. In this polluted concept of life, we are all trying to exploit the resources of material nature. But actually, we are becoming more and more entangled in her complexities. Therefore, although we are engaged in a hard struggle to conquer nature, we are even more dependent on her. This illusory struggle against material nature can be stopped at once by revival of our Krishna consciousness. So, controlling material nature, this is very much what the modern civilization is about. We have to bring material nature under our control. But it seems to me, this is not a scientific analysis, but it seems to me, the more they try to bring material nature under their control, the more problems they are created. They want to warm up all the houses. Okay, it creates gases. They want to drive the car. There is so many accidents. So much pollution. So they try to create peace. It's actually Srila Prabhupada used to speak about this. They created the United Nations in order to make peace. And the United Nations just basically discussing wars. Everybody's just against each other. So when we try to create an artificial, when we take up the artificial position of being controllers and enjoyers, we are actually trying to imitate Krishna. But there is a big problem that we are not Krishna. We don't have the power and the strength and the opulences of Krishna to maintain this. It is just artificial. We are just pretending. And then what happens is that everything we do when we're trying to control material nature, it just entangles us more and more. Like sometimes there is somebody spoke bad about you. Somebody said Locan is very stupid. Locan, if he's stupid, he calls that person and said, "Did you say that I was stupid?" He said, "No, I never said." He found out. He made it up. You should call him. Then you call him. "No, I never said that. He said that." And just by trying to clear up, something infinitesimal, it becomes a whole entanglement, So therefore we should understand that Krishna is in control and we are just Krishna's servants. Actually, I have noticed in the old days in ISKCON, we just called each other for names, Madhavapuri and Mohini, and now everybody is Prabhu. I actually I'm a little bit involved in Stockholm Temple. Is this Bhakta Prabhu, what's his name? Mikhail Prabhu, so everybody's Prabhu. But what is wrong with being called Dasa, servant? It should be the most honorable to be a servant of Krishna. Why does everybody want to be? Of course, maybe everybody is just thinking, he is Prabhu and I'm his servant, or he's my master.
What does it mean, Prabhu?
Prabhu means master.
Master. Okay.
Prabhupada, the master at whose feet all others masters bow. So Dasa is very good. But there is this, people maybe feel, I actually remember when I was in Alvik, there was one devotee writing a letter to me, this and this and this. I wanted to send a message from, and then in the end, it was not so sophisticated, so he wrote, "Your humble servant, so-and-so Prabhu." Normally we should not call ourselves Prabhu, we should call ourselves Dasa, but he was not so sophisticated, so maybe he didn't fully understand, that Prabhu is for addressing others and so on.
But
anyway.
Even women, you should call Prabhu to women.
I don't know, I remember Suhotra Swami used the word Prabvi, But I tried to find out, I couldn't get anywhere. Do you know Madhupuri?
Faintly. Najamuna Devi something.
Prabvi?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a grammar in Sanskrit grammar.
Somewhere,
I mean, I have heard.
yeah.
I looked once in the Sanskrit dictionary, Prabvi, but I don't remember what they said. But I mean, Dasa is perfect. Servant.
Mohini is
Mohini Devi Dasi. And the women even have this Devi, you know, which is, the man is just Dasa. But the women have this Devi, which makes it more glamorous. So, anyway, so to be happy with position of a servant, it's actually the perfection of life, to be a servant of Krishna. And we should not strive for everything else. And all forms of control of the material world and all forms of looking for enjoyment, they depend on this fact that we don't fully understand the glorious position of being a servant of Krishna. So, Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition of the mind. This is a very famous sentence by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition of the mind, on the mind. This consciousness is the original energy of the living entity. When we hear the transcendental vibration, this consciousness is revived. And this process is recommended for this age by authorities. By practical experience also, one can perceive that by chanting this Maha Mantra, or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel a transcendental ecstasy coming through from the spiritual stratum. So here there is many wonderful philosophical statements by Srila Prabhupada. So first of all, that Krishna consciousness is not artificial. Because in the Srimad Bhagavatam, they speak, Shukadeva Goswami speaks, about something which he calls Vimukta Maninaha. So, liberated in the mind. You somehow convince yourself that you are liberated, you are beyond the modes of material nature, you have attained, how do you say? You have attained self-realization, but actually one might be also in the bodily platform, but maybe not fully realizing that. So Krishna consciousness is different. And actually Srila Prabhupada, once he gave the example, like when you're chanting Hare Krishna in Kirtan, even a child becomes attracted by the Kirtan and dances and chants the holy name of the Lord. It's nothing that we have to impose. This is the original energy of the living entity. So, to some extent we have forgotten this consciousness. It has become covered by our long existence in this material world, and therefore we need a procedure to reviving this original consciousness. And this is the Hare Krishna mantra. So this process is recommended for this age by authorities. I actually have a paper here, which I got together. It's all the quotes, but I will not get into it. All the quotes from the Puranas and Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, Upanishads about chanting Hare Krishna mantra. But we can look at it later, maybe. So let me go on with this purport. So this process is recommended for this age by authorities. By practical experience also, one can perceive that by chanting the Maha Mantra, or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel a transcendental ecstasy coming through from the spiritual stratum. So if one chants purely, one is associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one immediately perceives that transcendental ecstasy from associating with Krishna in the form of his name. In all the scriptures, it is explained that Krishna is not different from his name. So actually when one says the word Krishna, interesting enough, Krishna is also a mantra. Can also be considered as a mantra, but when you say the word Krishna, Krishna is fully present. Maybe in the beginning stage we don't realize that, but Krishna is fully present in his name. No difference. It's not that it's a little bit less or a little bit removed from Krishna. No, it's not different from Krishna. So Krishna is fully present in his name. The problem might be that we don't have full capacity, full realization to understand that. Okay. And when one is factually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of senses, mind, and intelligence. So these three are the problems. Number one, the senses. Number two, the mind. And the third one is the intelligence. We know more or less why. I mean, the senses, they always asking for satisfaction. Eating, sleeping, mating, or defending. The mind is always telling us, alternatively, you are fantastic, or you are horrible. You are great. No, you are not great. You are horrible. When one is serves as a temple president, there's many devotees coming to you. Am I a demon? No, you are not a demon. They go out. Such a relief. After 2 weeks, they come back. Am I a demon? So this is the mind. One is never a demon or a Paramahams. One is a spirit soul, and we're trying to serve Krishna. Let's go on. Let's switch off the mind. So this one has to surpass these three stages: sense, mind, and intelligence. Intelligence is also a problem. Actually, there was one famous philosopher. He said, it's amazing, everybody complains about their bad memory, but nobody complains about their bad intelligence. Because it's very common. Oh, I forgot. Oh, my memory. But nobody says, oh, I'm so stupid. So he remarked that. One is situated on the transcendental plane. This chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is directly enacted from the spiritual platform. And thus this sound vibration surpasses all lower strata of consciousness, namely, again, the sensual, the mental, and the intellectual. There is no need, therefore, to understand the language of the mantra. Nor is there any need for mental speculation or any intellectual adjustment for chanting this Maha Mantra. It springs automatically from the spiritual platform, and as such, anyone can take part in the chanting without any previous qualification and dance in ecstasy. So this maybe contradicts a little bit what I was saying in the beginning, that for chanting a mantra, one needs some qualifications. Regarding the chanting of Hare Krishna, this is partially true. One can start to chant without any qualifications, but the more purified one understands, the more pure one's chanting becomes, and the more effective one's chanting becomes. Because chanting while committing offenses, it's counterproductive. Even if the mantra is fully powerful, because of improper consciousness or improper attitude, the effect, the powerful effect of the mantra will be nullified. Actually, Srila Prabhupada, he gives the example of the bathing of the elephant. Maybe not so common in Sweden, but in the Indian context, you know, the elephant goes in the lake and it takes water everywhere a long time. And then he goes on the beach. What does he do? Somebody tell me.
Roll around.
Exactly. It rolls on the sand. So much washing for nothing. So Srila Prabhupada gives the same example regarding the chanting of Hare Krishna. You chant, you make such an effort to concentrate, you get up early in the morning, you do your meditation, and then one does offenses. There's 10 offenses. So no qualification is needed, but the proper state of mind has to be there. And actually, Lord Chaitanya, he explained the proper state of mind to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And this is a very famous verse, which is in Sanskrit, Trinad api sunichena taror api sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtanya sadahari. I don't remember translation by heart, but Trinad api sunichena, more tolerant than the tree. More humble than the grass. Trinad. Taror api sahishnuna, and more tolerant than the tree. Amanina manadena kirtanya. How is the translation?
Ready to offer all honor to others. Claiming
free from false prestige.
Yes.
Something. Yeah. So being free from false prestige, being always ready to offer all respects to others and not expecting any respect in return. So this is the instruction of Lord Chaitanya on how one can chant with a pure state of mind. Being more humble than the blade of grass. You know, you walk on the grass says nothing. Just more tolerant than the tree. Storm, rain, snow, drought, sun, day, night. The tree doesn't protest, just stands there. So more tolerant than the tree. And we should never expect respect from others, but we should always be ready to offer our respect to others. So this is a good starting point for chanting the holy name. So we have seen this practically. Here comes the example. Even the child can take part in the chanting, or even a dog can take part in it. Of course, this story of the dog is interesting because there was a devotee in the old days of Lord Chaitanya Sannyas. He used to go with many devotees to Nilachala, to Jagannath Puri. And then Lord Chaitanya stayed in Jagannath Puri, and the devotees used to go there. And I think it was Shivananda Sena. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah? So Shivananda Sena had a dog. And I mean, the dog is a spirit soul. So this dog somehow was very attracted to devotees. He was always running all the devotees and you know, when there was kirtan, he was always around and very happy. So he was always following devotees. So when the devotees came to Nilachala, to Jagannath Puri, somehow first this dog was taking part in kirtan, but all of a sudden the dog disappeared. So all devotees love this dog. So they asked, you know, what happened to this dog? So Lord Chaitanya said he went back to Godhead in the middle of the kirtan. So even the dog, this is Shastrik, can take part in it. Of course, for one who is too entangled in material life, it takes a little bit more time to come to the standard point, but even such a materially engrossed man is raised to the spiritual platform very quickly. So the Maha Mantra, if one does it carefully, works very quickly. And what is most important when we chant? It's that we listen to the sound, that our mind is not occupied with other different thoughts, which sometimes is difficult because life is quite complicated. In one day you may have to do, I don't know, from 2 to 100 things. Life can be quite complicated. So these complications of daily life may disturb our focus in hearing. And there is different tricks one can have in order to quiet down the mind. I mean, if one has many things to do, one can you can write them down. It's just, okay, I have to pay the bills. Just write down, and you write down everything, and then you just let it go, and you can concentrate. If one has a very busy life, one can do that. So, the hearing is important, and the focusing on the sound, and proper pronunciation. And when one tries to pronounce properly and hear properly, then the chanting gets its own dynamics. The mind stops interfering. It's the hearing of the sound and the proper pronunciation. This is our focus. And then chanting becomes very strong and it becomes ecstatic. So, okay. When the mantra is chanting by a pure devotee of the Lord in love, it has the greatest efficacy on the hearers. And as such, this chanting should be heard from the lips of a pure devotee, so that immediate effects can be achieved. Of course, pure devotees are not walking on the street. So maybe this is not so easy. But we are fortunate. We have come in contact with the pure devotee of the Lord, with Srila Prabhupada. And we have had the good fortune of being able to hear the Mahamantra directly from his lips. There is places in the Vedas where it is said that you pick up the Mahamantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, anywhere, and you start chanting it. It will have a certain effect, purificatory effect, but you can never attain pure love of God unless you receive the mantra from a pure devotee. So you can attain mukti.
Just want to ask, does it work with how you call it, videos, with audios from Prabhupada?
I guess so. There is nothing lost there, unless they change the words. No, you never know nowadays with artificial intelligence. You can make even the voice of somebody, but if you're hearing original recording, this is everything there.
Yeah. In this way.
The power of the sound is there.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, it would be lost. But even, sound has, it's a broader concept, because it's also what we hear, but it's also what you read. When you're reading a book, you are also taking into your heart the spiritual sound vibration. And actually, one thing which is very efficient is to read aloud.
What? Read aloud?
Read so that you pronounce, not only letting your eyes go through the lines, but actually reading loud and listening to it at the same time. It becomes very powerful.
I do that because sometimes I just fall asleep and then I start to read loud. And I wake up.
Very powerful. So as far as possible, chanting from the lips of non-devotees should be avoided. Milk touched by the lips of a serpent has poisonous effects. So this is a little bit a warning to us that we should try as much as possible to associate and to listen from pure devotees. And fortunately, in our disciplic succession, we have so many pure devotees. We have Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Baladev Vidya Bhushana, Jagannathas Babaji. Who else? Who not? Narottam Das Thakur. It's unlimited. The Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. You know, we have practically unlimited. They have written so many books, so one cannot even read all of them in one lifetime and understand them. So we are very protected and very fortunate because we have all this enormous material, this spiritual sound vibration given to us by pure devotees of the Lord. So the word Hara is the form of addressing the energy of the Lord, and the words Krishna and Rama are forms of addressing the Lord Himself. Both Krishna and Rama mean the supreme pleasure, and Hara is the supreme pleasure energy of the Lord, changed to Hare in the vocative. So Hare, it means like, oh Hara, if you translate into English. The supreme pleasure energy of the Lord helps us to reach the Lord. The material energy called Maya is also one of the multi-energies of the Lord. And we, living entities, are also the energy, the marginal energy of the Lord. So, we speak sometimes about the glories of Srimati Radharani and what is her, how to say, if one can say biggest. In spiritual world we cannot really say that, but one is of the most prominent characteristics of Srimati Radharani is that she's always trying to connect all the other living entities with Krishna. So this is why her name is in the Mahamantra, because without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, one cannot approach Krishna. So this is why she is the greatest servant, because she is not, I mean, who is a great servant? He's a servant who is not thinking about himself, who is thinking about the master, who he or she is serving. So Srimati Radharani is the greatest servant because she's always trying to bring all the living entities in connection with Krishna. And therefore, she is 50% of the words in Mahamantra are the name of Srimati Radharani. Hara. Hara means also the one who takes away. What does she take away? Material attachment. So the living entities are described as superior to material energy. When the superior energy is in contact with the inferior energy, an incompatible situation arises. So this is what is incompatible. We're trying to be happy in this material world. This is incompatible because we are spiritual energy. We should actually be in the spiritual world, and we're trying to be happy in a world which is dominated by matter, where everything is temporary, everything is full of suffering, and everything ends up in death. So this is not the right place to look for happiness. So this is what Srila Prabhupada means, incompatible. Yeah. In the old days, in the Hare Krishna temples, we used to have this play of the fish. You remember probably, Madam Puri, the fish outside of the water. So the play was like this. There was one one devotee who played fish, and all the others were the servants of the fish. So this fish was swimming in the water, he was okay, but somebody took him out of the water and then offered the fish all kinds of sense gratification, money, whatever, good food. I think sometimes devotees offer them a cigar, to symbolize the things people are attached in the material world. But the fish could never become happy because he could not breathe. It doesn't matter how much you have, you cannot breathe. So, same thing with living entities in the material world. We are disconnected from Krishna, the source of all happiness, and this is like we cannot breathe, just. So this is incompatibility. But when the superior marginal energy is in contact with the superior energy called Hara, the living entity is established in its happy normal condition. So our normal condition is happiness, and this is why we always trying to be happy, because it's there in the soul, this longing for happiness. I don't know if it comes from Srila Prabhupada or I heard from somebody else, but saying that if in the pharmacy they have a pill to make you unhappy, nobody would buy this. Medicines to become depressed. Maybe in Finland they they could sell these medicines, but not in many other places. Medicines, they are antidepressants. You don't find a medicine which is to make you depressed. And this is natural, because the natural condition of a living entity is to be happy. To be unhappy, it's an artificial condition, and therefore we're always striving for happiness, even if the conditions maybe look very hopeless. These three words, namely Hare, Krishna, and Rama, are the transcendental seeds of the Mahamantra. The chanting is spiritual call for the Lord and His internal energy, Hara, to give protection to the conditioned soul. This chanting is exactly like the genuine cry of a child for its mother. Mother Hara helps the devotee achieve the grace of the Supreme Father, Hari, or Krishna, and the Lord Himself reveals to the devotee who chants this mantra sincerely. No other means of spiritual realization, therefore, is as effective in this age as chanting the Mahamantra. Together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So this was mantra yoga. I have here many quotes. They are quite interesting, but better to read on one's own is not really. One thing which addresses here is that, in Chaitanya Charitamrita you say Lord Chaitanya was always chanting Hari, Hari, Hari. But there is actually many places where Lord Chaitanya is saying Hare Krishna, So like here in Adi Lila, Krishna mantra haite habe samsara mochana, Krishna nama haite pabe, Krishna charana. By chanting the Krishna mantra, one can obtain freedom from material existence. By chanting Krishna's names, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. And there is many. This thing is completely full of quotes of the Hare Krishna mantra from the Puranas and from the Upanishads and from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here, for instance, Vrindavan Das Thakur, who wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat, he was the first one in Bengal to write the biography of Lord Chaitanya, Vrindavan Das Thakur. He wrote a verse, Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna Mantrera, Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna Mantrera Prakasha, Jaya Jaya Nija Bhakti Grahana Vilasa. Glory to He who revealed the Hare Krishna Mahamantra Glory to He who enjoys the pastimes of accepting His own devotional service. So it's about Lord Chaitanya. Prasanna Shri Mukhe Hare Krishna Krishna Bali Vijaya Haile Gaura Chandra Kutuhali. Happily chanting Hare Krishna and Krishna, Gaura Chandra was joyfully when he came. This is from Antyakanda in Chaitanya Bhagavat. And another thing which is very important, it's and then there is, of course, Harinama Harinama Eva Kevalam. And this is also from the Chaitanya Bhagavata. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Eish Locan Nama Bali, Laya Mahamantra, Shola Nama Bhatri Isha, Akshara Etantra. This verse consists of the holy names and is called the Mahamantra. It contains 16 names composed of 32 syllables. When speaking to the inhabitants of Navadvip, Prabhu Bale, Krishna Bhakti Hauka Shabara, Krishna Namaguna, Baina Bahila Hara. The Lord said, may you all attend devotional service to Krishna. Do not speak about anything other than the names and qualities of Krishna. And then there is another one, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhu Bale, Kahilana E Mahamantra, Iha Japa Giya Sabe, Karya Nirbanda. The Lord said, I have told you the Mahamantra. All of you chant this mantra according to a prescribed number. Because sometimes when one reads the Vedic literature, it's a little difficult to find. So here there is enormous compilation. Prabodhananda Sarasvati was an associate of Lord Chaitanya in Vrindavan Mahinamrita. Hare Krishna Krishneti Krishneti Mukyan. When will I attain all perfection of life in Vrindavana? By chanting the Siddha mantra of very wonderful names, Hare Krishna Krishna, that came from the mouth of Lord Chaitanya, who is compassion personified. Chaitanya Chandamrita, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Anu Brahmandayor Madhye, Chaitanyena Samarhitam, Hare Krishna Ramanama, Malam Bhakti Pradayinim. Shri Krishna Chaitanya has offered everyone in the universe the garland of the holy names Hare, Krishna and Rama, and thereby taken away their sins. Rupa Goswami, it's unlimited. So is there any questions or comments? Yes, please.
Can you explain a little bit the association of like saying this Mahamantra and all the three things that you mentioned, like senses, mind and intelligence? Because what I'm thinking, like when I'm chanting this mantra, I should have the senses, because when I'm speaking loudly, so I should hear it, so my sense need to be active. And also mind to not to like move around all over the world. Okay. And the intelligence also in association that, okay, so I'm saying this mantra, it doesn't mean that I can do more sin, because I gain something, or I hope I gain something by chanting this mantra. But when are you saying that like these three things has to be totally shut down when I'm chanting this mantra, or I should use these three things, mind, senses and intelligence, to make better use of the mantra?
The senses and the mind and the intelligence, it is like this. They run their own program.
Yes.
Like the mind, I actually remember when I was almost a child, I was 16 years, I learned Buddhist meditation. And there is two things. The first thing you do, whatever thought comes up, you cut it. You try to cut it. This is the first part of the meditation. The second part of the meditation is whatever thoughts go through your mind, you just don't react to them. It's just like you're looking at a movie. And this is to make one aware of this process of of how the mind is working. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, you should control your mind. And Arjuna says, how is it possible? It's more difficult to control the mind than to control the wind. And I mean, who can control the wind? We all saw yesterday. I don't know if you're in Malmo, but I mean, in Lund we had a huge storm, uncontrollable. So these are the disturbances. The senses, because the senses are always requesting satisfaction. The tongue wants to eat, and the eyes want to see, and the ears want to hear. So they can lead one to diversion. But if you can engage your tongue and your hearing in the Maha Mantra, you already have managed 50% of the problem. Because when you are fully absorbed in properly pronouncing and properly hearing, the mind will automatically shut off. It will pop up. It doesn't give up easily. It will pop up. But gradually it will become under control if one focus on the proper pronunciation and hearing every syllable of the mantra. For us who have lived in temples, we have lived all versions of the mantra because people are not hearing. We had one famous devotee in Krishna's Gorda who used to chant Hare Kiri Ram, Hare Kiri Ram, Hare Kiri Ram. And he made these rounds we normally took 2 hours to do our chanting. He made all his rounds in half an hour. Hare Kiri Ram, Hare Kiri Ram, Hare Kiri Ram. He was very famous. But I mean, nobody could talk to him. So this is not to speak about somebody, but I just want to make the point. If one listens to every syllable and tries, because if you're listening, you understand we're not pronouncing properly. And when you don't pronounce properly, you also hear that. So these two are the key ingredients of proper meditation. And then, of course, you have your sense of touch, because we are recommended in our disciplic succession to use the japa beads. So that's another one. One can also chant in front of the deity, which further focuses one, or in front of the picture of Krishna. So there is little different tricks to bring this mind under control. But the two ingredients is proper pronunciation, proper hearing. You get this circle going, it's 50% of the work done. The intelligence, I don't know really. What do you think, Mother? Can one engage one's intelligence while chanting?
I think the best engagement of the intelligence is that it makes you choose to chant. Makes you the choice to chanting no matter what.
So it's more global, managing aspect of the chanting.
I can give one example. When I started to meditate before, I choose to just think about the Krishna, or everything it was with Krishna, engaged in some people or service, and I trained my mind. Just sometime it was like all the Krishna, doesn't matter, what I am talking, and just to be about the Krishna.
But this is without chanting or with chanting?
In the chanting, the mind it is going everywhere, and I choose where I am aware about my mind it is not there. I choose just to think about the Krishna, and
this is also very good if you can do that with your intelligence. You're satisfied or not?
Yes.
Okay.
How is hearing connected to association with devotees, with other people? Because technically now you can listen to Prabhupada online or in your phones or whatever, and visit, say, a Christian church just to associate with other people. Two different processes, like you can do it technically, but is there any difference when you listen to a lecture online or offline, like we do now? Is there a difference to the quality of what you hear or sense? I don't know.
I mean, there is one thing, when one's giving a lecture, how shall I say this? I mean, if you listen to a pure devotee speaking, Krishna is inspiring the pure devotee to speak to the hearts of the audience, to a certain extent. In another way, they are speaking universal philosophical truths of the Vaishnava philosophy, but they are also relating with the audience in front of them. So therefore, it may be some difference. It may be some difference between when you hear to a pure devotee online, and you actually, how do you say? You have the physical presence of pure devotee. One thing which I have noticed in my own life, if you listen, like for instance, of Prabhupada's lectures, you can listen to the lecture a few times. And every time you listen to it, it becomes a little deeper. So the presence of Prabhupada and what Srila Prabhupada was trying to message us becomes a little deeper. Because due to inattentiveness or to material desires or to lack of intelligence, we miss many things. And if you listen several times, then it's how do you say, it's more, it's nearer the physical presence of a pure devotee. I mean, I cannot answer that fully, but this is at least my experience. Because I mean, in modern age, it's kind of difficult to listen to things once and remember them. I don't know if it has something to do with the general atmosphere in society or these kind of waves which are going on for mobile phones and radiations and this. I don't know why it is, but I remember when I was younger, it was much easier to remember things. Could be also age. But I see also, like young people, which I have in contact with, they forget much more than what I did in that age. So it's difficult to grab everything listening once. So my experience is when there is a topic which is interesting and I want to hear about it, I can listen to the lecture 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times. And then actually it penetrates deeper in our consciousness when you do that. I don't know, Mother Puri, you want to say something about this?
Well, I wanted to address 2 things. The first one is very short, because the very best thing that can ever happen to you is when you make the conscious choice to start regular japa meditation every day, every morning. If it's only 1 round, you get a bead, you just chant. And the very best thing can ever happen to anyone in your family or your friend is that you inspire them to do the same, because you automatically become very dear to Krishna. But what I wanted to address is, you're talking about the quality of chanting and like this. This is called a Maha Mantra. This is the greatest mantra, right? So there's no other mantra which is greater. Remember, we went to this yagya last Friday in Lund, and Yayesh Prabhu was the officiating yagya priest. Towards the end, he was chanting different mantras to alleviate imperfection, like maybe he forgot part of a mantra or spilled a little ghee or whatever it was, like this. So that you could also do offenses against the holy name in different ways, like, mind goes here and you miss a word and all kinds of things, But the only way to alleviate offenses against the holy name is to continue chanting the holy name, because there is no other greater way to. So the whole thing is, whatever you do, don't stop chant Hare Krishna, even do you think, oh, I can't do this, too difficult, or I'm too spaced out. No such thing. Just go on, and Krishna will reward you with doing that. Even if it's just one round, imperfectly chanted. Even like the Muslims in the Ganges, when Mahaprabhu was born, they were mocking. That's called Namaparad, basically. So they got a little tiny benefit from mocking the holy name. And then what we are doing is maybe like a reflection, like Namabas, when we are spaced out, we get more benefit. And one day Krishna will help us do the Shuddhanam purely. Just keep on every day. Just chant. You will become a better person. You will become nicer to your surrounding, to your friends, and your family. There's no excuse, no rationalization to not chant. No hard and fast rules in chanting. So that was the point I wanted to make. This is a unique mantra. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Ili, you're satisfied or not?
It's fine.
I mean, because you were asking a little bit in relation to lectures, or?
Well, it's fine. The way it went was nice.
So, we all have to listen several times. It brings deeper understanding. If you are listening to lectures, this is how I understood it. Any other questions? Mario?
I heard one of the videos that I saw, Srila Prabhupada, he was saying that there's these 3 stages in chanting mantra, and that in the first stage normally we do offenses. So, if anybody that comes new in the Hare Krishna consciousness and Krishna consciousness start chanting by itself home, so we probably will do some offenses. So my question is when this actually stops, when you come to when you can consider it is like the second level, because he said in the third level you see Krishna directly each time when you're chanting.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm thinking, if I am doing offenses, and
I think Madhavapuri answered a little bit to the question, because we have the 10 offenses.
Yeah.
And that is important to know. Yeah? Not to commit sinful activities on strength of the holy name, and all these 10 offenses. But it's also said in the Nectar Devotion that Krishna doesn't see the faults of his devotees. So when one has proper intention, then even if you make offenses, it's a little bit like a child. He may pronounce the word wrong, but nobody is rebuking him for that or chastising him. So faults are allowed.
So
it's not final, so to say. That what is important, it's the consciousness is proper. And this is probably proper when you're trying to chant in order to purify yourself and to please Krishna. Okay?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I have one.
Yeah, please.
This is also probably philosophical. Who can say, or how you say is a pure devotee? Srila Prabhupada was pure devotee, but anyone who is alive he says, or he has the confidence to say, I am pure devotee. Or the other people who is surrounding him, they're saying by his act or cause, you can say that, okay, I know he is pure devotee, but how, is anyone confident to say that I am pure devotee?
This is a little bit a problem in all sciences. How do you know somebody is a good mathematician if you don't understand anything? So, but in regards to pure devotion, it is like this, that in the beginning, when we are far away from Krishna, it means that our ego, or false ego, our false identity is quite developed. When we approach Krishna, we got rid of many faults, but at the same time, we became more Krishna conscious. So the few faults which we have, they look bigger. So therefore, a pure devotee, he never considers himself a pure devotee. If he considers himself a pure devotee, then it means trouble. Because it's a contradiction by definition. And you see in the writings of all the Vaishnavas, actually, like Madhupur is quite expert on the songs of the Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I mean, he always says, I'm the lowest of the lowest. And it's just the mercy of the Lord that I'm allowed to write this or to sing the praise of the Lord. So, because the more one approaches Krishna, the more one sees the greatness of Krishna, and at the same time, he sees his real size. This should not be... sometimes devotees think to be humble, it's some kind of inferiority complex. It's not an inferiority complex. You don't put a value into it. You just see your real size as part and parcel of Krishna, and you see Krishna in all his opulence and with all his unlimited characteristics. And you understand, I'm nothing, but that doesn't disturb you. It doesn't make you depressed or inferior or something. You feel okay because you're connected to Krishna. So there is no question of being depressed or despondent or feeling inferior. So if somebody says, I'm a pure devotee, listen to me, watch out. But on the other side, one can see the potency of a devotee by the power of that devotee to touch the hearts of others. So, Srila Prabhupada, we can obviously see he started from zero and created such a huge movement with so many pure devotees. And he produced all these literatures which are transcendental and wonderful and can uplift us and clear all our doubts. So for Srila Prabhupada, the effects are very, very noticeable. And if you look at the life of our acharyas and great devotees in the succession, you can objectively see what they have done. There is one of the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavana, whose name is Jiva Goswami. And even in modern times, I have read from one professor of philosophy in Chicago that he's the greatest philosopher of all times. And he was living in Vrindavana under a different tree every day. He didn't have a house. And living in these very humble circumstances, he was producing amazing literatures. Amazing, systematizing the Srimad Bhagavatam, explaining all the terminology, what Krishna means, connecting the Srimad Bhagavatam with Vedanta, wonderful writings. And when you see his writings, you say, this is a pure devotee. But in general, if you're dealing with living people, in general, when one associates with pure devotees, one becomes ecstatic. This is all I can say. So if somebody can make you ecstatic, there is some level of purity there. I remember once I was in Alvik and Bhakti Chiru Swami came, and Bhakti Chira Swami cooked the Sunday feast. And you cannot believe after the Sunday feast, all the devotees were rolling on the floor, just... I mean, nobody was analyzing what happened, but just because they ate food cooked by a pure devotee, everybody was just... I still remember like if it was yesterday. I was actually thinking about this morning, I don't know why, but Bhakti Chira Swami was cooking in Alvik. And so there is this thing.
So that's my point actually. So all the other devotees is saying, okay, that he might be pure devotee by all these circumstances. But if you ask him, he might say, no, I'm just a servant, or I'm trying to be a devotee.
He will definitely say that. It's also, I mean, you see in our disciplic succession, I mean, you have like here Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was an enormous intellectual. He wrote a book called Surya Siddhanta, for instance, an astronomy book, filled with calculations, and it was considered revolutionary. He was also a mathematician, and he was a great scholar, has amazing memory, and he had like 60,000 disciples. And he wanted to take initiation of Gorakishore Das Babaji. Gorakishore Das Babaji didn't have any disciple. He was chanting in Navadvip, chanting the holy name continuously. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta went to him and said, give me initiation. And Gorakishore Das Babaji, I mean, I'm an alphabet, I don't know how to read. He probably knew how to read. But, I don't know anything. You are such a great scholar, how can I initiate you? And many, many times, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta went there and he got refused to get initiation. So, because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was very intelligent, so he studied the routines of Gorakishore Das Babaji, and he knew that Gorakishore Das Babaji went over a certain bridge there. I don't know if it was Ganges or Saraswati, somewhere there in Navadvip area. And then he stopped him and he said, will you give me initiation? Because if you don't, I jump in the river. And then he got initiated. But Gorakishore Das Babaji was, he was humility personified. So in general, pure devotee will never boast about his position, because he understands that even if he has somehow developed some little taste for devotional service, there is always devotees who are more advanced than him, and he sees always, it's not that devotional service we come to a point where we are static. Okay, now I'm a pure devotee, everybody serve me. No, it's always, it's a living process. So you always can look forward. So therefore devotional service is exciting, because you're always going forward. Okay? So let's end here. All goes Srila Prabhupada. Jai.